So we're inside of a rainbow.
Yes, we are.
And what are some things that we should look for in a tent?
Well, so tents, first is the support structure on the tent, how it's held up. This is an arch pole supported tent.
It's got one single pole going over top?
One single pole goes end to end over the top, yep. So we have personally we have a number of different arch pole tents, as do a number of other companies. The other way to support a tent is using your trekking poles, if you're a trekking pole user.
And that's good for the lightweight, you don't have to hike the pole.
Generally saves you weight, yep, because you're not carrying the big arch pole over the middle. The advantage of the arch pole over the middle, though, is it really increases the volume of the tent. You won't ever get this kind of volume out of a trekking pole tent.
And reliability in wind?
And right, so these tend to support more fabric than a trekking pole tent can. So that there's a continuous fabric support all the way end to end that you can't get out of a trekking pole tent. Trekking pole tent supports 1 or 2 points, depending how many poles you use, and the rest of it is held at stake kind of ground level. Arch pole is you have shorter unsupported spans than an arch pole tent. So yeah, these are very wind worthy because of it.
Looks like we have 2 mounts on the sides and 3 on the ends. So are we at like 8 stakes needed?
Oh, it's 6 actually.
6? Okay.
Yeah, 4 corners, back wall, front wall.
Okay. And so I'm not really familiar with these bottoms. What is it called? Like a pool bottom or something?
Bathtub floor.
Bathtub floor.
Yeah, bathtub means it comes up. There's a wall. This is a 5-inch wall at the end, and there's actually some clip-up points in various spots just to make sure that rain splash doesn't get in if need be.
Okay. Yeah. Then we got rain fly, the traditional, just pin it back and.
Yep.
What's the weight on this?
So these come in about 35 ounces typically. And so that's the arch pole and the 6 stakes and the tent body.
This is a data sheet on it?
Yes, it is. Yep. This is the older model. The new one has a pole sleeve that comes up off the top of the tent, which makes it easier to get the pole in and out, and a cross strut that's also up off the top of the tent, which gives it some enhanced durability.
What do you think about setup time for someone who has a reasonable and someone who has a lot of experience?
So I can do this tent in, I'd say, under 1.5 minutes. For someone right out of the bag, maybe twice that long, and then it should get faster from there.
So I plan on doing a through all the way up to Canada.
Yep.
You think I'll probably get this down pretty pat after?
Oh yeah, it's easy. You feed an arch pole through this yellow sleeve.
You want to get out? We can.
Yeah, sure. So the setup procedure would be this fabric's laying on the ground. You pick up this end. This arch pole is segmented and shot corded, so it's 12 feet long right now. It packs down to about this long.
Okay.
18 inches. And then you feed the arch pole through the yellow sleeve, pop it out the other end into a grommet, or actually into a pole pocket on both sides. And then it's up and stable this way. You stake the 2 ends here, and then it's really stable. And then you walk around to the other end, and you stake the opposite corners. And then it's up. And then it's just, there's a back wall pull out, which is optional really. And there's a front vestibule pull out, which you'll need, if you want vestibule support for rain.
Okay, so last night we had pretty heavy winds and pretty decent rain, and this stayed up, and
yes,
it felt really dry in there right now.
Yep.
Do you, what kind of anchoring do you recommend?
So these are actually not the stakes that ship with the tent. The stakes that ship with the tent are more like this. We ship this kind of a stake. It's a tubular aluminum stake.
Okay.
And what we discovered last night, that little blue stake in the ground,
yeah,
and the silver one, those are hook stakes or shepherd hook stakes. These are, and this tent fortunately doesn't cause any rotation in the stake, but other tents do. And I found a lot of these tents out here, they just tended to rotate under the wind stress, and it just popped right off.
Right.
It didn't on this tent. This tent's actually pretty good about not doing that to the stakes, but
seems to have a really low profile pull on it.
Yep.
What are just optional if you want to?
No, actually This just in the event that you get a bad side wind that blows that open, this ensures that doesn't happen. And then there's an additional back wall pull out here, which you may or may not ever need, but that gives you a lot of extra canopy support back here.
Okay.
If you need it. Otherwise, you just use that.
And you just have to use whatever line you have on you.
Yeah, if you need it. It would be a rare event. These are extra arch sleeve pull-outs here also, if you ever need those. Don't think you won't in most cases. This tent did fine in last night's wind. And this is what I was saying. This is the cross strut. This gives you headroom through the middle.
Okay.
This is 18 inches also. The whole thing comes out if you want it to. If you want to stuff the tent, you take the cross strut out.
So this stays attached when you pack?
This stays attached, or you can take the strut out if you want to. It's just a little Velcro pocket. And this whole thing comes out if you want to put that somewhere else.
All right. What is the fabric? Not that I know, but
commonly known as silk nylon, silicone coated ripstop nylon.
Okay. It's for the rain fly, the door. Tighten them down, just cinch it. So just to go over the setup again, you pin down the two sides.
Do the arch pull first.
So it'll be limp. You just stick the arch pull through.
Stick the arch pull. If it's really blowing wind, the wind is going to want to take the arch pull in whatever direction the wind is blowing. So let's say the wind is blowing from this direction. You'd want to get the arch pull in and then lift it up. The wind's going to want to pull it that way anyway. And then you stake one end, stake the other end. It's up and stable. It's all kind of trying to blow that way, and it can't because it's pinned. And then you stick the two opposite ends. That's the best way to do it in the wind, I think.
Okay. And then you just do the sides after that.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you for showing me.